So I know at the moment there are a lot of people out there taking exams. It right now is exam season, and in this video I kind of wanted to talk to you about my exam experience and kind of give you viewers some advice in relation to exams. I feel like no matter what happens, whenever you take exams, you're always told by those who are older than you, those who are bigger than you, what you need to do. You are instructed by teachers, by your parents, by all of these people that are older and more grown up. And they're the ones who tell you, you need to pass, you need to do this. But I want to tell you the real kind of situation involving exams from someone who's young. Now, me giving advice on exams probably isn't the best thing because I wasn't the smartest person in school. I had potential, I guess. I was always told throughout my whole school career, look, you've got potential, you can do good, you can get A's, you can get B's, and all of this malarkey. Whereas when it actually came to my exams, well, that wasn't the case. I could have done so much better at school. 100%. I was too bothered about being an attention seeker and wanting people to pay me attention than I was to actually get good grades. Now, anyone watching me and watching this video who knows me in person can probably relate to that statement because they obviously know me, and for that, I'm sorry, and don't worry, I'm aware of it. Going back to the whole exam thing, obviously, when I opened that envelope and realised I'd only got 6 exams, I was gutted. And I looked straight up at my mum, and her face was just... She knew that I had failed 4 of my exams. Now, I didn't really know what to do at this point. I had achieved what I needed to get into the next stage of my life. And I think that's something that's very crucial when you look at exams. When you're taking exams, you should always think about what you need for the next step. Now, I could have done so much better, that's fair enough. I could have got so much better than what I did, but I got what I needed. Now, I know that's probably seems like an easy way out of saying, you know what, that's nothing to worry about, I did good enough. I feel like as a person, you can never do good enough. You should always strive to be better than those you see around you, better than those who are on top of you. You should always try and be better than them, no matter in what situation, if that's an educational situation, a work-based situation, or a friendship-related situation. Now, I think this really comes into play when you look at those around you and you see that someone might be struggling with something, and even though they might be considered smarter than you or better than you, you feel the need to help them, you want to help them. I feel like this is something that you should always strive to do, and that will then build up a positive reputation for yourself and put you at an equal level or above those people because you have shown those assets and skills that you have. Now, I don't personally believe in a hierarchy system. I know it does work and I've witnessed it working, but I think you should never want to beat someone. I get that people are competitive, and I get in some factors you will want to beat them, but I don't think you should always think, you know what, you're crap, you're rubbish. You should never try and put someone down by demonstrating your own abilities. You should always take your own abilities, build on those, and then pick this other person up and bring them with you. Now, obviously, building up to exams, you're doing a lot of revision. Now, that's something that I should probably talk about as well, because I didn't really revise, which is another thing that I regret. But when we talk about revision and those around you, you should always work together. People learning of the same age and helping your peers and stuff like that is essential when it comes to learning for exams. Now, I know they drill it into you at school how you need to revise, you need to make sure you know this, you need to make flashcards, you need to do all this. And that's so true, but you need to limit yourself. You need to create actual schedules of, I'm going to do this for an hour, then have a break, then do this for an hour, and so forth. Because if you pile all this information into your head all at once, it will not work. Revision is absolutely key. I did not do enough of it at all. So make sure you are revising, you know exactly what you've got to write about, because there are stuff that won't come up in the exam and there's stuff that will. You never know what is actually going to come up. So make sure you know everything, you're aware of everything, because then you're going to pass easier and get more marks. Revising is a short-term thing. Now, I never thought of it like that. I thought, I can't put my head down and I can't read lines and lines and lines. And I get for some people that is difficult, because it's difficult for myself. And what I should have done, and what you should do if you're in that situation, is think of an alternate method to revise. Now, it doesn't have to be creating flashcards, it doesn't have to be writing stuff down. What you can do is you can have someone actually physically demonstrate something to you that would then teach you something. So science is probably the best example. Now, if you want to learn something scientific, someone should demonstrate that to you, and then you're more likely to learn it if you're not someone who is gonna focus on a textbook and read a textbook, which is what I regret doing. I would have loved to have, said to someone at school, look, can you show me this once more, because I think I will learn it better. So if you're not confident with reading stuff, go up to your teachers, approach them and say, look, I know we did this experiment already and you might not have time, but if you do have some spare time, can you show me how this works again, because I think it might help me pass my exam. And I generally think that method might work. So definitely think about it, because teachers are there to help you at the end of the day. And even your parents, they can, go down to a local store or whatever, grab something, like even if it's like a food exam or something like that, they can show you the process of something like, I don't know, gelatinization or something like that, because that's going to help you learn better than reading from a textbook if you're someone like myself. Now, I think the main real thing to think about here going into exams is not making sure you've learned everything, making sure, you're 100% with it, because you might not be the smartest person. Everyone has a different skill level. Everyone is skilled and good at particular things. Some people might be good at arts and crafts stuff, while some people might be good at writing literature. Now, you need to think about, what you are capable of. Never, ever, ever think or worry about those who are around you doing exams that might be better than you, because you're there to demonstrate your skill. You're there to demonstrate exactly what you can do. Now, you should always strive to be better than those people and succeed, so you can say, you know what, I really pushed myself and I did really good. But you still need to remember at the back of your mind that you're not going to be as good as some other people. Some people might be really good at socializing and talking, whereas some people might be really academic. And I would say I'm personally better at, communicating and with confidence than I am with my academic side. And I think that's something that you really need to think about when taking these exams. What you need to do as well is you need to make sure that you're not worrying. People build up so much worry because so much stress is put on them by the parents and by the school and by those around them that is so unnecessary. Now, I get you're gonna get stressed because it's one of the most important points in your life. You're told that constantly. You're told, this is really important, it means a lot. Now, it doesn't. We'll come back to that later. It's not massively important, okay? But we'll come back to that point. But you need to not worry. I know so much that there's going to be that tiny little bit of stress. There's going to be stress there, obviously. That's common sense. It's the same for everybody. You're not unique. You're not on your own. But the thing is, you need to try and lower those levels of stress by sitting there and thinking, you know what? I can do this. I can grab a pen, I can see the paper, and I know exactly what I'm going to write. Now, all the other factors that I've talked about in this video so far are going to implement that, but you need to think about you as a person, because your confidence should be there when taking exams, because you need to have the confidence in yourself. You need to get rid of that doubt, because doubt is what hinders you as a person. The thing about exams not being very important is kind of true, but it's also not true. Obviously they're important because they're going to get you to that next stage, as I've said. But there's so much pressure put on students about how they're the most important things in your life. They're going to carry you for the rest of your life. Now, asking people about GCSEs, for example, and how they've benefited them, most people haven't actually been benefited by their GCSEs. When it gets to the working world, it's about who you know, not what you know. And that's definitely something that you need to think about, because you should be building up a portfolio, building up, you know, this whole reputation for yourself as someone who can produce good work and actually show the skill that you want to pursue as a career. Now, me personally, I'm studying media at college. That's something that I want to pursue as a career. So I will build up a portfolio by working with clients for free, saying, you know what, I can do you a promotional video, let me put it on my portfolio site so then I can send that to more clients and build up this large database and portfolio of people that I've worked with that I can then feature and show to those clients who might be willing to pay. Building up this portfolio will then allow me to actually build a career for myself and benefit me in my future life. So these grades aren't essential. I'm not saying to you, give up, don't worry about it, GCSEs are pointless, because they're not. You still need to try, but there's so many other factors that come into play when you're applying for jobs and stuff like that. So definitely keep that in mind of, like I said, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So hopefully this has kind of given you a bigger insight on exams if you are taking them right now, and I get that you're under a lot of stress and everything will be alright. You'll do good. Just don't do what I did, because I'm a bit of an idiot really. And yeah, I'm fully aware of that one now. So, you know. Good luck to all of you guys that are taking exams right now. And thank you very much for watching this video. You're gonna do great.